A market, is a place where you have people trading, a group of people buying, and another set of group of people selling. It's as simple as that. It can be Kariakoo market, it can be Kikomba market, it can be the fish market in Kisumu, Kibuye market, or it can also be a financial market, and I will explain.
The interbank market basically was non-functioning last year, and even up to the first quarter of this year. And that's when we began to resuscitate the interbank foreign exchange market. They had also been prohibited from electronic brokerage trading. Again, we didn't see really the reason why we should prohibit banks from electronics trading. But of course, there need to be some training, and they also needed to join the Bloomberg and the Yellow and the Reuters, which now they have.
In this country, we are fond of doing things in a very interesting way. We do things so well just for them to stop working. I'll give you an example. What William Samoei Ruto keeps talking about, the single currency thing, where East Africa should have by now had a very stable and strong currency, one single currency. And when I talk about East Africa, I'll talk about the initial East Africa, that is Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. Of course, now we have a bigger East Africa, where now we are quite a couple of countries who have come together too late in the day, but to do what we started in the 60s. And this is the reason why I say Kenya is ridiculous for being a leader and then messing up the lead as in its entirety, as in its totality. I'll leave that foreign exchange or banking or financial things. Go to something like football. Kenya was in the lead. Then what happened? We've messed football. There used to be a club called Gor Mahia. It's no longer. There used to be a club called AFC Leopards. It's a pale shadow of the AFC Leopards that was there in those days. You see, so we are fond of this kind of thing, where we do something, work so hard to achieve it, and then some corruption network just come, and the majority of them being politicians, and just mess the whole thing up. Today, in the interbank market, I was so shocked to understand from the governor. I was so shocked to get it from the governor that they closed the interbank market. Closed the interbank market in Kenya. The interbank market has been so active, and we are reinventing the entire wheel. We are again going to Bloomberg to set our interbank trading systems. We are going back to Reuters to set our interbank trading system. For heaven's sake, I think we are messed up in this country. When the World Trade Towers was being bombed, yours truly was sitting on a couple of $1 million in the interbank trade, and we are using Reuters to trade. In fact, traders in Kenya were registered by Central Bank of Kenya, like yours truly, to be able to trade bank to bank and to be able to account for the foreign currency that the entire country has. So to be a manager in one of the banks, or to be a treasury manager, you required not only approval by your own bank that has employed you, but you also require the Central Bank of Kenya to approve you as a trader to be able to deal in foreign currency. So this thing of foreign exchange rate and everything was a collective responsibility of government, traders, banks, and central bank. But somewhere along the line, from what I'm hearing from Kariuki Duge, last year they actually stopped trading, stopped the interbank market from trading. Of course, if you hear about circulars, those are usually the instructions that come from Central Bank of Kenya that actually guide banks to trade in a particular manner. So we are inventing the wheel again. We are starting afresh. So anyway, today he was addressing that issue, and I saw how ridiculous it's been and how it is. As a matter of fact, in this channel, we've advised William Samoei Ruto and politicians to keep off the Central Bank of Kenya. I hope that this will be a lesson learned, because I see a lot of high-handedness from William Samoei Ruto in terms of micromanaging institutions, including even expecting a lot of expectation from even a private company or like Safaricom. The exchange rate, the solution with this exchange rate is to leave that market to work. And I was talking about markets in the sense that any market with restrictions cannot function. So government needs to get out of this thing Like this government to government or G to G that William Samoei Ruto brought, you see, it didn't work. It wasn't going to work. To address interest rates, no. Of course, they were trying to address exchange rates. It wasn't going to work. It's a given. So they will back to square one. They have to let the market work. Similarly, William Samoei Ruto, we've always said, should focus on running government. He should not this private partnership, private enterprise partnership, PPP program that governments, the Jubilee government and now William Samoei Ruto, Kenya Kwanza government has been trying to sell, is something that a lot, in a number of ways, interferes with free enterprise or free interbank market or free stock exchange market or free commodity market. Government intervention by way of taxes, by way of policy and everything in private sector messes up even exchange rates, and that's where we are. The last thing that has messed up this country is ujinga, upuzi. You see, all the money that was laundered, that went out there, was sneaked back to the country, and these politicians are responsible for that. Well, I would like to hear your comment. Let me know. Let me hear what you have to say about this. And I would really appreciate to hear your comment also on the issue of this channel and what you would like me to talk more about. Thank you very much for tuning in. Welcome to Talk to Africa.